Hello everyone, welcome to the inaugural video of the Viking Inside. We will strive to bring you the latest from across all strength sports, ranging from the history of the sport to tutorials and much, much more. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and smash the bell so that way you can be notified whenever we have new videos that come out. I'm Nate, and with me as always is
Savage Cat.
And today we're going to get right into it. We're doing top 5 abandoned gyms from around the world. Let's begin. Number 5 on our list. We're visiting the site of one of the worst nuclear disasters in history. If you haven't guessed by now, it is Chernobyl. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about the gym and gymnasium that was located in Pripyat, which is where the workforce for the Chernobyl plant lived. And it was supposed to be a model city based on people they didn't have to go anywhere but their own city to get everything they needed. And that would include grocery shopping, movie theaters, housing, even a theme park they built, which didn't even end up opening because the Chernobyl disaster happened about 3 days prior to the opening of the theme park. And abandoned with all that stuff that's still there to this day because everybody just kind of picked up and left, over 140,000 people picked up and left, is the gym. And it is very much, as you'll see in some of these photos that we have, very much the old school Soviet style gymnasium. And it's just got a real creepy and eerie feeling now, like everything does in Pripyat. When that disaster happened, like I said, everybody kind of just picked up and left. And as you'll see in these pictures, the leftover, people literally just left equipment there, and nature is kind of just taking it back over. And there has been a lot of vandalism, there's been a lot of theft, but it's still mostly there. And you can see the paintings on the walls, you can still see the drained pools, because this is very much not just a gym. This was meant for, 30, 40,000 people to use. So it was built more as like an Olympic facility at the time than just a gym where you would go in and lift weights. And that was very, I guess, expectant of the kind of Russian way that they were kind of approach their sports at the time. If you remember, for those of us that are old enough that remember way back in the 80s, the Russians getting into the Olympic Games, they were actually suspended from the Olympic Games at one point because of some illegal steroid use that they were caught kind of fudging. But you can see this gym is very reminiscent of that, like, just sort of hardcore Russian mentality. Everything is like jagged, 90 degrees, old school, but was probably top of the line in 1986. If you'd like to learn more about the Chernobyl disaster and not just the gymnasium itself, please follow one of the people that I like to watch a lot and I get a lot of information from is Simon Whistler. He has about 4 or 5 different channels on YouTube, and he goes into depth about these kind of things on one of his channels. He talks about Chernobyl on one of his channels is called Mega Projects, and another channel that's called Side Projects, and he really brings up a lot of good information. But yeah, so please give him a follow as well. Moving on to number 4.
Number 4 on our list, we visit the European Health Spa in Westchester, New York. This gym was straight out of the 1970s, and this was their view of what a futuristic gym would look like. Sadly, it wasn't meant to last as it closed down over 30 years ago. The European Health Spa was part of one of the largest health spa businesses in the United States at the time. Looking more like something out of the Soviet bloc, it boasted modern amenities and the most up-to-date gym equipment. Now, you wouldn't be alarmed by the Siberian tiger behind the bar.
A tiger.
Yes, a tiger behind the bar. Esquire magazine called it a fitness clinic, which also boasted fireplaces and chandeliers. It had a tropical juice bar, sauna, pool, weight room, and professionals of every beauty and spa background to fit your needs. Sitting on a massive footprint, I'm not sure if clinic is what I would call this place. More like a compound. A compound that housed everything under one roof, a model not found very often today.
You really don't see that often today. I mean, you see a lot of gyms that are like Globo gyms. Even the Globo gyms that you see today are really just giant rooms filled with weights or treadmills, not something that would offer you kind of like every luxury that's out there. And so I think that's like a throw. I mean, this place, when I was researching this place, it was over like 40,000 square feet of this, and it's insane. It's just crazy.
It kind of makes me glad that we abandoned that idea.
I know, we actually were thinking about
Those of you who may know us know that we've talked about opening a fitness facility like this that had everything that you would need, and a massage techs and things like that, physical therapists, all under one roof, even as specific as a tropical juice bar.
We actually were talking exactly about that.
And we were going to have a tiger. I'm just kidding.
We were going to have a falcon, I think, instead of a tiger, to kind of keep away the seagulls. But yeah, we were actually thinking about doing that, and it turns out not a great idea. I don't know if something like that would come back around. I don't even know why it was called a European health spa, since it's in upstate New York. And where it's located is kind of off the beaten path. It was built so you could like see it, and it was kind of like this giant mecca to like the shining light to get to. But now you look at it and it's off the road, it's in the middle of nowhere, and you have to like drive down a dirt road to get to it. Dirty road? Dirt road? Yeah, sure. And when you get there, it's just a bunch of ruins, as you'll see in the picture. It's got Atlas in front that was holding the globe, and the globe isn't there anymore. The globe is gone. It's just Atlas holding nothing. So I don't know if it's a deload year for him or what, but poor guy. Number 3 on our list is a little bit off topic, but nonetheless, we are including Olympic venues, and more specifically, obviously, abandoned Olympic venues, starting way back in 1936 with the most infamous Olympic Games, the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Mired in controversy and racism, these buildings are still there to this day. Some have been restored and some have not, leaving a note in history. In history, we now know that at this time, the Nazi regime was building its political and military power, when only 3 years later, Europe would be steeped in war. As for a lot of the other venues in the Olympics since then, the countries have generally spent more than they would have ever received from the games themselves. Billions of dollars spent to what is now mostly empty buildings that are being reclaimed by nature. In some countries, they have been able to turn around some of the buildings and use them for national teams, events, pro teams, etc. This is not the standard, however, as we see many more abandoned than not.
Moving on to number 2 is New Life Fitness World in South Carolina. Started in 1988 and abruptly closing in 2013, this gym actually had a lot to offer. It was the format of the current Globo Gym model that we see peppered across the world today. But alas, it wasn't meant to be as of 2013. There was a notice on the door that they would be closing and transferring memberships to Gold's Gym. New Life Fitness World boasted 4 locations in South Carolina at its peak. And since they were a very large gym, they had something for everyone. Or so it seemed. We would steadily see the rise of more boutique-style gyms come across the nation, and one major player in the game would end up being the go-to Globo-style gym that once was left to entrepreneurs to build.
And we're right here in Savannah, Georgia, and I've never even heard of that. And I was here during that time when that was open. And this one here, specifically, that we were looking up was actually just in Somerville, I believe.
That's so close
to here. Yeah,
and
that's really close. Interesting. And finally on our list is not any specific gym, but rather a reminder that a lot of your gyms are locally owned and not a largely profitable business. To all the gyms that have had to close in the last couple of years due to COVID, I believe you are owed a special tribute. Many gym owners are enthusiasts themselves, and it is a business of passion for them. But COVID has taken over $29 billion out of the fitness industry from 2020 to 2021 alone. There were over 40,000 gyms in the United States, and almost 30% of them closed due to COVID in some way in just 1 year. If you dive deeper into the data, you can see that a lot of gyms now are struggling as they didn't have the cash reserves and received no direct help from the government like the hospitality industry did. And to me, that's just it's really sad, because it is a business of passion, and we have been there. We have owned a gym, and you very much want to do this for the people in your community, but it's really hard to make it financially worth it. That's why special tribute to all the people that own gyms and had to close them in the last couple of years because it's been a rough time.
And to those of you who are still sticking it out despite it going through hard times and potentially not receiving financial aid from the government, your community needs you, and they appreciate you.
And your gym needs the community.
Absolutely.
So support your local gyms. You know, the big ones, they're going to be all right. All right, your Planet Fitnesses and stuff, they're going to be okay. They're okay. It's your local gym owners. You really need to go in there and support any local business. You really should support your local business. But these people have had it extra tough over the last couple of years. Gyms have been in the news for any number of reasons throughout COVID as a dangerous place to be and whatnot. But as we slowly climb out of this darkness, I think it's important to then once again go and support your local business, and in this case, most specifically, support your local gym. Well, we hope you liked the video today, and if so, hit that subscribe button. We are always looking for new fitness and gym top 5 and top 10 video ideas, so please send them our way, or leave them in the comments below. Again, I'm Nate, and this is
Savage Cat,
and we will see you on the Viking Inside.